people. On tonight's episode, we will be speaking about how to connect SQL with NetBeans. So for a start, we need to open NetBeans. Just be mindful that NetBeans have changed their IDE. It's no longer just NetBeans, it's Apache NetBeans. And I'm using version 12.3. At the same time, I'll also open SQL Server Management Studio. You actually need both of these tools installed on your machine for you to perform this task of connecting NetBeans with SQL Server. So whichever open first, we're going to start there. Okay, as you can see, NetBeans is the one that started first, so we're gonna start at NetBeans. So when you open NetBeans, it basically opens in this fashion. So you will want to go create a project, and we will call our project, it will be a Java program. So I'm just gonna create a Java application, and I'm going to call my project connect to SQL. So that will be the name of the project. I'm going to ask Java to create a main class for me and the main function. So by doing that, Java will create the main class and the main function, right? So that is basically what you need. You just need to create a simple project, and you will let NetBeans do the rest for you. Next up, we want to go and connect to our SQL, how we normally connect to it. So my SQL server is this one, and I'm quickly just gonna connect like this. But there are other ways I usually log into this SQL server myself that I would want to create. So I have a user here called Tendo. That's basically how I prefer logging in. It's much more safer. It brings you to you need to know the IP address and all that, but most of you are already familiar with that for now. So I'm just gonna go find out my IP address for the machine. Okay, so my IP address is 192.168.43.87. I'm going to use that to connect. And I'll say comma 2021, which is the port that I've already set up. And remember, all these stages have already been explained in the other video. So I will say SQL Server Authentication. So if you watch the first videos on how to set up SQL as a server and log in as a independent user, you can start there, then come watch this one. There we go. I've now logged in. The next thing I'll want to do is to create a database. So I am now creating my own database. I will call this JavaDB and press OK. From there, on my newly created database, I'm going to create a table, and I'm just going to create a simple table of users. So I'll create user ID, and it's very important that you don't start on this video, you start somewhere else. Maybe if you don't know what I'm performing right now, by setting this up as a primary key, and then making sure that it has identity specification. Maybe you might want to watch that 8 minutes video on identity specification. It's also part of this playlist. So I'm just gonna put the names of the person here, maybe email as well, and then password here. So I'm creating very simple database. This is the table I'm creating irrespective of that database. So I'm going to press save now, and I will call this users. Okay, so that's all we need to do on SQL for now, right? So next step, you will want to go to your internet and type JDBC driver for SQL, right? So this will then navigate you to arrive at a place where you'll find the JDBC driver for SQL Server, and then you can try to locate where can you download this JDBC driver. It's very easy to locate it. You won't have to be looking for it that much. So you'll find it under Microsoft, right? And you will have to look for the driver itself, but you will want to get the latest driver. So the JDB6 driver, I don't think this is the latest one, so we're going to again look for the latest one. So I will say JDBC driver for SQL. I think this is the one. Right, so we arrive here, and then you look for the download button. Here we are. I prefer downloading the one which is a zipped file. So if you download this file, right, if you download this file, it will then come on your downloads or wherever your files go. It will come in your downloads, and it will come in this fashion, right? So this is the file I've just downloaded previously, and then you need to unzip it. After unzipping it, it looks like this. So don't forget, you are here, you download the driver as a zip file or as a .tar file, then you unzip it, and your file will look something like this. So inside this file, you have got the drivers themselves for Java. So these are the 3 drivers we are speaking about. Okay, so there's driver for for Java 8, Java 11, and JRE 15. So from there, you need to go back to NetBeans, and just within your project, you're going to navigate to services, and you're going to add a new connection on your databases, right? So just come here, say add new connection, look for a new driver here, and then add your driver. The driver you'll be adding is that one I've just shown you, right? So navigate to where you unzipped that file, and make sure you click your driver. It will come here, and then it will ask you for all those other questions. At the end of the day, it will look like this. Then you can then navigate and put in those login details which are needed for your database. So what you're typing here is basically what you will be typing if you attempt to log in here, right? So you've got the server name, the login name, the password, the database name, the table name as well. It's also required. Not the table name, just the database name. So from there, you are going to put the database itself. I was calling it JavaDB, and then from there the username. Then I put in the password. When I test the connection, it says connection succeeded. I can just press finish. Then it's gonna create a connection string for me. Now, if you wanna test if these things work, what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna click on it, right, and say execute a command. Then I will start typing in those famous commands like select all from the table users, right? And I will try to say by executing if this indeed will return a table. So as you can see, it does return a table with user ID, the names, the email, and the password, right? So this is telling me that NetBeans has now been connected to SQL. Okay, hope you enjoyed. See you next time.